Valley University look to clinch at least a tie in the WAC with a victory over the Pan Am Broncos. It's all coming your way next, right here on UVU TV. Welcome to Orem, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City, the UCCU Center, where tonight the Wolverines, 11-3 in the Western Athletic Conference, play host to the Bronx of Texas Pan American, currently 5-9. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCall alongside Matt Peterson. UVU can clinch at least a tie tonight. Boy, what an exciting game on Thursday against New Mexico State. A very emotional overtime win that was marred at the end by a kind of an ugly incident, and I wish we had more information to pass along to you, but we don't. The investigation continues. So let's just talk about tonight's game, Matt. Texas Pan American and UVU. Who would have thunk that UVU would be in this position to be able to clinch with 2 games to play?
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see how this WAC season has played out. These two teams have a history playing against each other. They know each other. They've played several years. So it's really exciting to see the Wolverines have the opportunity at home in front of their home crowd to clinch, as you said.
Yeah, it would clinch at least a tie. That would be supposing UVU would lose their last game next week and New Mexico State would win tonight and again next week as well. But UVU, if they win tonight, they clinch not only a tie for the championship, they clinch the #1 seed going into the WAC tournament. We'll talk more about that as the game goes on. Let's talk about this matchup. Key players tonight for UVU, probably the same seniors we've been talking about all year.
You know, these guys are the leaders of the team, and so they've got to be the key players. And if the Wolverines are going to win, these two have to be the guys. So Ben Aird inside, averaging just about 12 points a game, 8 rebounds. He's the presence and the stabilizer for the Wolverines inside. And then the same could be said for Holton on the perimeter. These two are seniors. They know exactly what they need to do. He averages 14 points a game and 4 assists does Holton on the season. So these two are going to be the catalysts, not only in this game, but going into the postseason.
And for Texas Pan Am, they've got a graduate student. I mean, they got some maturity as well.
Yeah, and you know, they come in here with really a lot to prove. You've got Javorn Farrell, who plays at the guard forward position, averages just over 16 points per game and just over 5 rebounds a game. So he'll be a tough matchup as he plays that guard and forward position. And then you have Shaquille Boga, who's a junior guard, right behind Javorn, and scoring at almost 14 points a game, and he gets a little over 3 rebounds a game. So it's going to be a perimeter game as far as the key players for Texas Pan America. We'll see how the Wolverines match up against them.
All right, so to win this game for the Wolverines, keys to victory, Matthew.
You mentioned it. You know, they've got to avoid the letdown after Thursday's win. It was so emotional. A very quick turnaround into tonight's game. They would have had one day and today, yesterday and today of preparation, so they cannot have a letdown. They've got to handle the defensive pressure that the Broncos are going to be putting on them at all areas of the court, and they have to defend that backcourt that we just talked about, because if those players are able to get off, if they're able to get a rhythm early, it's going to cause trouble for the Wolverines.
First season in the WAC for Utah Valley. Can they do it tonight? Can they become WAC champs their first year here? We're going to find out. We'll take a break here on our Costa Vida pregame show. Starting lineups and your opening tip coming up next right here on UVU TV.
Brave and bold, silver and gold.
We are on a mission.
Aggie up.
Bronx country just got a whole lot bigger.
Mighty Wolverines of UVU.
Join the herd. Lopes up.
Bold moves, big season, grew up.
We are the new gold standard.
We will be champions.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem here at the UCCU Center. Texas Pan American and Utah Valley getting set to do battle. Texas Pan American comes in here 9-20 overall, 6-11 on the road, but they're 5-9 in the WAC. They're going to start Shaquille Boga, a guard, 5'11" junior from St. Louis, Missouri, averaging 13.6. Shaquille Hines at forward, averaging 12.5 points a game and a team-high 6.3 rebounds a game. He's a sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, standing 6'7". Josh Cleveland, a forward, 6'6", senior from Houston, Texas, averaging 5.3 a game. Hurley Johnson, averaging 3 a game, gets the start at guard, a 6'1" senior from Clewiston, Florida. And then Justin Leather starts at forward, 6'5", senior from Kansas City, Missouri, averaging 6 points a game. Not starting tonight, surprisingly, Javon Farrell, who has started 27 of their 29 games this year. He's their leading scorer, as we talked about before the break, at 16 points a game. Not starting tonight, don't know why. If he gets in there, we'll talk more about him. He does carry the 8th best scoring record in the WAC at that 16.1 a game. Starting lineups for the Wolverines. We're going to turn it over to the PA announcer in just a second, as soon as the dance team and the Jumbotron that they installed in here gets done with their thing. Pan Am comes in here averaging dead last in the WAC in scoring at 66 points a game, giving up 71 points a game. They're coached by Dan Hipscher, his first year at Texas Pan American, where he's 9-20. He's been at Alabama the last 4 years and had a lot of success at Alabama. We'll talk more about that as the game wears on. This will be the 16th meeting between these two teams. UVU has a 12-3 series lead. In fact, Texas Pan Am has only won one time here in Orem, Utah. That was back in 2010 when they got out of here with a 3-point victory. Meanwhile, the Wolverines, first place all by themselves in the WAC. A win tonight will clinch at least a tie and that #1 seed and an automatic berth into the NIT tournament if they don't make the NCAA tournament. A lot riding on tonight's game. Utah Valley 17-10 tonight, 11-2 at home. All right, let's go to our PA announcer, T.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your UVU Wolverines. At forward, a 6'5" junior from Boise, Idaho, number 15, Mitch Bernil. At forward, at 6'7", a redshirt freshman from Yuba City, California, number 21, Zach Nelson. At center, 6'9", senior from Bountiful, Utah, number 34, Ben Aird. At guard, 6'1", senior from Mesa, Arizona, number 3, Keawe Enos. And at guard, a 6-foot senior from Salt Lake City, Utah, number 12, Dick Hunsaker. The Wolverines coached by head coach Dick Hunsaker.
Wolverines, second to last regular season game of the season. They'll play one more next week. That's going to be home, hosting Bakersfield. But they want to take care of business tonight. Wolverines coached by Dick Hunsaker in his 12th year here at UVU with 218 wins in his career. Coach Dick Hunsaker, 384 wins versus just 211 losses. UVU, 68 points a game is what they average. They don't score a lot of points, but they're really good on defense. Number 1 in the WAC scoring defense, just giving up 66 a game. These two teams have met once already this season, back on January 30th. That was down in Edinburgh, Texas. And UVU won that one 67-53, a 14-point victory that night. Now, that was a game, Matt, you weren't there, but UVU went the first 4 minutes of the game, didn't score a point. And for the first time in his career, coach said he pulled all 5 starters and put 5 reserves in, and then put the starters in a little bit later. So we'll see if the starters learn their lesson against Pan Am.
Let's not have a repeat of that.
We're underway here at the UCCU Center. Pan Am with first possession. Leathers gives over right side to Hines. Jumper too hard. Keawe Enos cleans the glass.
They tried to post up early inside Shaquille Boga. Holton doing a nice job fronting that and forcing a long shot there from Shaquille Hines.
Brunel cut off on the baseline drive. Nice ball movement on this possession. Ben Air jumper won't go. So both teams missed their opening shot on their opening possession.
You know, and this is going to be a completely different game from the one they played on Thursday night, because Ben is going to be a lot more inside. As that game unfolded on Thursday, when you had Sim Bular inside, 7'6" guy inside, the ball wasn't inside very often. Ben is going to be inside this game. That will be a little bit different.
Pan Am misses the outside jumper. All right, we played 1 minute without UVU scoring. You said you didn't want to replay, but the good news is that even though they went 4 minutes without scoring to start the game, they were only down 4-0.
Yeah, their defense has been pretty good to start. I like their attentiveness. They've been sharp on defense.
Brunel off the glass, lots of contact. The official showing early they're going to let some stuff go, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely looked like a blocking foul there, but nice job of Mitch keeping his head up as he was falling to the ground, keeping his head up, keeping it on the rim, seeing the target, and banks it in.
We talked about how tired UVU might be coming off such an emotional victory. Pan Am had a pretty tough game Thursday night as well. Long jumper for 2 there, tying this thing up. Yeah. They were at Bakersfield and hit a shot basically as the game ran out to win it by 2.
Yeah, you know, it's not often in college basketball that you see a team have more wins on the road than they do at home, but that's the case with the Bronx. So, you know, something about going on the road for them, it seems to work out.
But it's a quick turnaround to go from Bakersfield,
yeah,
where they flew in yesterday morning, to Salt Lake, bus down here to Orem. It's about a 45-minute ride. Practiced last night here. Had a shoot around today and play tonight. Something that all these teams that join the WAC this year have to get used to is that Thursday-Saturday schedule in conference.
Quick turnaround. I mean, you spend most of your time preparing for your opponent on Thursday, and then you have another game on Saturday. So as I mentioned in the pregame, you have really Friday and Saturday shoot around to get prepared. But luckily these teams have played before, so they'll use a lot from the previous game.
Cleveland gives Pan Am a 2-point lead with a little turnaround jump hook.
And Pan Am extending their pressure. That was one of our keys to the game. They got to handle the defensive pressure.
Holton driving in, lost the handle. Officials looking at each other. One of them was blocked out. The other one says it's UVU basketball.
And there's been a lot of teams that have come in here that have tried to extend that full court pressure. For the most part, the Wolverines have done a nice job handling it. That time they did as well. They didn't force any action.
Brendan Evans on the drive and one. Foul going to go against Hurley Johnson. His first, team's first.
Yeah, I see Brendan working inside on the out-of-bounds play, and gets that ball out in front of him, leads it through the 2 defenders and gets fouled.
Brendan Evans replacing Ben Aird in that lineup early. Any reason for that you know of?
I don't think coach is too happy with Ben. I didn't know exactly what. Maybe it was a misassignment on a play or not. He did have that ball go out of his hands on the baseline on their second or third possession. Maybe that was it.
Johnson gets his first 2 points of the night on a nice slash to the hole. Texas Pan Am with a 1-point lead. We've already had 3 lead changes and 2 ties.
Yeah,
it's just 6-5.
Yeah, Texas Pan Am, they've shown some things offensively, doing a couple different things. I think the Wolverines will settle in here. They're getting some good shots of their own.
Hunsaker missing from outside, jump ball call. Possession arrow, Utah Valley direction.
You know, Brendan, this is the first year we've seen him, and I've been so impressed. He doesn't get as many minutes because he's playing behind Ben, but when he's in there, he is around the ball when it's inside. It doesn't matter what size he's going against. He is always inside, a force on the offensive boards as much as he is on the defensive boards too. Texas Pan Am off to the out of bounds here. They've gone into a 2-3 zone.
Brunel jumper too hard, tipped out front. Wolverines maintain possession. Keawe for 3, missed it. Skying for the rebound that time. Shaquille Boga, all 5'11" of him. Kid's got some springs. Jumper outside, no, but the follow inside, very nice from Shaquille Hines. And all of a sudden, Texas Pan American up on top of UVU by 3.
Yeah, a quick transition. Now they get the defensive rebound. They're out quick in transition. They get a long 3-pointer. No one back inside to rebound, and just a nice positioning inside by Hines on the putback.
Wolverines start fairly slowly from 2 from 6 from the floor. Brendan Evans working it inside. Another foul. This one going to be called on Pan Am's Shaquille Hines. For Hines, his first, team's second. Brings us to our first timeout. Just under 15.5 to play. First half, Wolverines down by 3.
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a student with UVU Automotive, and this is my classroom. At UVU, you can graduate with a diploma and a resume.
I hate math. I can't count how many times I've heard people say that. And as a math teacher, I take it personally. So, while working on my master's at UVU, I developed ways to help kids not hate math. Does engaged learning make a difference? You do the math.
There might be some UVU fans watching that aren't that familiar with Texas Pan American. They're located in Edinburgh, Texas, which is just about as far south in the tip of southern Texas as you can get without being either in Mexico or in the Gulf of Mexico. Dan Hipsher, their head coach, we'll talk more about him. Bucky the Bronc, brand new members of the WAC, and as you can tell from watching the first 4.5 minutes of this game, their colors green and orange. Really beautiful campus down there in Edinburgh. One of my favorite places to go. Here's that foul. He was trying to drape Brendan Evans.
Yeah, there was a nice up screen that was sent there against New Mexico State on Thursday night. We saw that action a lot from the Wolverines because they were trying to get the bigs from New Mexico State involved. There was a lot of cross screening. There was a lot of up screening from other bigs and from guards as well. And that was a play. Brendan coming off an up screen, running right down the lane line, and got fouled.
Evans misses both free throws, but Mitch Brunel gets the offensive rebound. So it remains 3-point deficit for the Wolverines. Chad Ross first touch tonight into the game for Zach Nelson. Also into the game, Hayes Garrity. Hunsaker somehow got that shot up as he crashed to the floor. No call. Here comes Pan Am. Boga. Wolverines already have 3 substitutes in this basketball game. That didn't happen Thursday night till almost halftime, I think. Coach Dick Hunsaker just looking for a 5 that's got some spark to him, huh?
Yeah, and I think what he's trying to do at times is the Wolverines coming away with their 3rd offensive rebound. So deflating for the Bronx there. I think what he's just trying to do is keep his guys focused. You know, again, it was a short turnaround. If you're not doing your assignment, you're not going to be in the game. And as someone who's been on the end of that many, many times, it's good because it refocuses you and knows, you know, lets you know that if you're going to be in there playing, you're going to do what you're supposed to be doing.
8-second shot clock. Garrity scoop won't go. Did hit the rim, so that resets the shot clock. Timeout UVU. Well, they're not looking that sharp, Matt. They put up 9 shots, have the Wolverines, and made only 2.
Yeah, and what's really helped them out is all the offensive rebounds that they've got. They've got 5 offensive boards, so they're maintaining possession. But we've seen, Thursday night's game and tonight's game, the Wolverines are struggling a little bit on offense as far as their shooting goes. I mean, I think they're getting some pretty good looks, pretty good shots, but it's not like them to be missing the shots that they're missing.
Well, you talked about it. Your first key to the game tonight for victory for UVU. Avoid the letdown.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's been plenty of distractions in the last 48 hours. That's for sure for UVU.
Well, and I think they're competing. I mean, I know that's what Coach always wants to see is he wants to see players competing. And if you're competing and you just miss a shot, you miss a shot. So I think everybody that gets in or gets subbed in knows that they've got to compete or they're not going to be in there. So just kind of a funk that they've been in for the last game and early part of this one.
Taylor Brown's in there for UVU. Garrity tracks this one down the backcourt. So Coach Dick Hunsaker's already played 9 out of the 10 players available to him tonight on the active roster. About 6 minutes deep into this game. Hunsaker, there you go.
Yeah, that was a crisp offensive possession. You had a lot of sprinting off of screens. The ball was initially, when Holton got that, he was looking inside to Ben. Ben didn't have it, and the defender sagged ever so far off that Holton just rose up and knocked it down.
Travel is going to be the call. That time Justin Leathers couldn't decide whether he wanted to go up with it or take one more step.
Yeah, that was some good initial defense there from Chad Ross, and then I believe it was Ben Aird that came over and helped.
Still have not seen Javon Farrell. Unless he's wearing another number tonight. Provost is in. Danzler's in. McIntosh, Toivonen, and Hines.
Yeah, and
Texas Pan American.
And that's big because, as we said, he averages 16 points a game, so you have to make that up from somewhere, and Pan Am hasn't really had that to start off here.
Chad Ross, jumper outside, no good. Pan Am with a rebound. Wolverines 3 of 10. Pan American 4 of 8. That's shooting. 3-point attempt, no. Chad Ross with the rebound. Well, dare we say it, Wolverines were 0 for 12 Thursday night from beyond the arc, Matt. First time that I think in like 4 or 5 years they've gone 0 for.
Yeah, that was so unusual. We were just waiting for one to go, and they had so many opportunities down the stretch. They just couldn't get anything to fall.
Hunsaker, turnaround, fade away. That'll be UVU basketball.
I like what the Wolverines are doing. They're really active in their offense. Again, they're setting a lot of screens. They're getting some good movement. They're looking to post up at different times. They're looking to get the ball inside to Ben. That time, obviously, Holton gets the ball inside. But Pan Am's put up a fight. It's not as if it's been easy for the Wolverines. That was one of our keys, too, is they've got to handle their pressure. And I've been impressed with how Pan Am has put pressure on the Wolverines. You get pressure here on Ben, 30 feet away from the basket. They're looking to extend that.
Taylor Brown for three. That won't go. Still 8-7. We played 8 minutes. Wow, nice drive. Shaquille Hines.
Yeah, he got that ball and made a quick move. He swept the ball through, got low, and drove to the rim. Pretty nice finish.
Hayes Garrity, who usually provides quite a spark off the bench for these Wolverines. There we go.
That's his patented move, pretty much. He comes off either a screen or I think he loves going to his left, because we see him going to his left a lot, and that's his shot. He gets either a foot or two into the paint and just reads where the defense is, and he's got a great mid-game from there, mid-range game from right inside the free throw line.
Hines jumper, long two.
And Shaquille Hines, we haven't said much about him, but I mean, he does average 12.5 points on the year, and he averages 6.3 rebounds. So he can score, he can rebound, and he's had an effect on the game too already.
Got 6 points tonight. He's only missed one shot. Taylor Brown outside won't go. Well, the Wolverines are just pulling down all sorts of rebounds, but they're not getting a lot of shots. They're 4 of 15 from the floor. 26% if you're keeping tabs at home, and why would you? Turnover. Second for UVU.
Yeah, trying to get the ball inside to Ben, trying to get Ben coming off of a screen from Taylor Brown, but Pan Am just defended it really well.
That time Hines going in, drawing the foul from, was it Brown or Aird? We'll find that out when we get back from this break. Bronx of Texas Pan American leading the Wolverines. Dan Hipsher, the head coach at Texas Pan American. This is his first year there, so everything you read there is from when he was an assistant coach, both at Alabama and a couple of other stops along his career. He's been a coach of the year. He's won conference tournaments, helped take teams to 3 NCAA tournaments. They're hoping for big things from Dan Hipsher before his career is done down in Edinburgh. His son is also one of his assistants, and I believe, Matt, you know his son fairly well, right?
Yeah, his son Andy was a coach here at UVU with Coach Hunsaker in the year 2006-2007. So that was my senior year playing here, and I got to know Andy really well. And I know he loves to coach. Obviously gets it from his dad, but Andy's an exciting person to be around. Happy to see him again.
The foul was on Taylor Brown.
Yeah, see the replay there on the drive, shot fake and drive there from Shaquille Hines. If you're not going to get your best player in, and as we've said, Farrell hasn't been in the game yet, other guys are going to have to step up, and it looks like Shaquille Hines is kind of taking that load upon himself early on here.
Shaquille Hines, 6'7" sophomore from Chicago. Had 12 points and 6 rebounds the first time these two played. That's what he's averaging on the season. You pointed that out earlier, 12 points, 6 rebounds. He's already got 6 points tonight, 2 rebounds. Texas Pan American, not a real good shooting free throw shooting team. 7th in the WAC at just 67%. Hines a 56% free throw shooter himself. Wolverines with the defensive rebound that time.
You know, let's see what they do on offense here. Coming out of a timeout, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and get that ball inside to Ben.
And a little hand check. What's going on? A little hand check foul?
Yep, we got a foul. But again, you know, Jamal Dantzler way out beyond the three-point line, putting pressure, trying to deny that ball from getting reversed through Zach's hands to the other side of the court so the Wolverines can run their play. But you know, that pressure is being extended. Wolverines have handled it okay so far.
First foul on Dantzler. Another foul inside. This one's going to go against Mitch Brunel.
Yeah, the turnover there on offense, some sort of miscommunication as Holton tried to pass that ball to Keawe, maybe thinking that he was going to go backdoor, but you know, that sprung the Bronx out on their offensive transition. Mitch Brunel just not able to get around, and that's going to be a charge.
That official took a long time to make that call, my friend.
He was waiting for the
He was waiting for you to tell him what it was.
But you see Holton, I mean, look at the movement of the feet, right? Feet don't cross when he's trying to get in front of the defender. He's low to the ground and just moves his feet laterally, keeps his chest in front. Good call because Holton took that one right on the chest.
Johnson's second personal foul. Only player for either team with 2. Brunel. This is inside. Texas Pan American basketball.
You know, the Wolverines have run that play a couple times tonight. I mentioned a little bit earlier when they tried to run it with Taylor Brown, but they get a guard or they get a forward inside trying to set a type of rub screen in the paint, trying to knock off Ben's man ever so slightly. You know, that time Mitch did a nice job of setting it and then kind of flaring open, but just wasn't able to convert on the shot.
Jumper from outside from Boga is good.
Yeah, that's the pass that really hurts. The Wolverines double teamed in the post there, and if you can get that cross-court pass like that, that really puts a lot of pressure and tension on the defense to recover out. Keawe got there, just Boga made a nice move and hit the jump shot, but a good read out of the double team.
Hunsaker for 3. Missed that one, tipped out front. Keawe tracks it down and collision there. Foul going to get called against Texas Pan American's L.J. McIntosh.
Yeah, another offensive rebound. You know, that is killing Texas Pan America, and it's doing a lot of good things for the Wolverines. It's giving them extra opportunities. They just haven't been able to convert, but clear offensive rebounding advantage.
Whoa, Ben was going for an alley-oop. All sorts of contact, no whistle. Same thing the other way. A little contact. Finally, there is a whistle. Jump ball called, and it goes Texas Pan American direction. A complete different feel to this Wolverine team tonight. Tired, not focused. I don't know what the term is, but they're not looking that sharp.
Yeah, they're a little sluggish. Pan America is playing with more urgency. Coach Hunsaker always uses that term and that word, playing with urgency, and Texas Pan America is playing with some urgency right now. The Wolverines haven't matched it.
No foul called.
And that time, no double team. That was just one-on-one defense there from Ben. Nice job of getting a challenge, and you get Zach trying to post ups.
But they do call a foul back the other way on Alex Majewski. Sorry to interrupt. Timeout on the floor. Wolverines down by 5 points with 8 minutes to play. First half.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
We told you about Dan Hipsher of Texas Pan American. Here's the profile on Dick Hunsaker's 12th season here at UVU. He's been coaching for 30 years. Took Ball State to the NCAA tournament. Before Wolverines joined the WAC, he was named the Great West Conference Coach of the Year twice. Lovely wife Diane, 4 children, one of them starting point guard Holton Hunsaker, and several grandchildren. I think I asked Holton one time, how many grandkids your dad had? And he said, I'll get back to you on that, I forgot. He was busy. He's an accounting major, by the way. Did I point that out? Holton Hunsaker named Academic All-American just a couple of weeks ago. UVU's basketball's first ever basketball or Academic All-American. Quite an honor. Ben Aird. That won't go. UVU 4 of 18 shooting from the floor.
And that was another really good look from Ben. He just wasn't able to knock that down.
Jumper outside is good, and he was fouled. You got to be kidding me. Basket will count. Shaquille Boga buried that one. It's 16-9.
Shaquille Boga just hit a shot in that exact same spot just a few minutes ago. Tough, you don't usually see a left-handed player. Usually the left-handed players are on the right side of the court going to their left, pulling up for jump shots, but he's got the ability to shoot that mid-range shot.
Missed the free throw. It's a 6-0 run for Pan Am. UVU has not scored consecutive baskets yet this half. In fact, their last basket came 4 minutes ago.
Miss from Ben, but again, 9th offensive rebound.
Shot clock at 10. Whoa, long three-point attempt. Airballed that one. Not sure he saw the shot clock going until he heard from the bench.
Yeah, and I think he obviously shot that a little too soon. He had more time than he thought, but you know, this defense from Pan Am has been spectacular. You know, Ben's getting the ball inside. They're getting some looks outside. They are 0 of 4 from now 0 of 5 from the three-point line. It's just been a good defensive effort.
Ben Aird blocks the shot from Hines. Wolverines come away with it. Hunsaker directing traffic. Zach Nelson. You gotta be kidding. 4 of 21 shooting. That's 19% off the glass. Shaquille Hines.
Yeah, and Pan Am is getting a timeout here from Coach Hunsaker, but
I guess
if that ball comes off the rim, Pan Am is out and running, and they're pushing that ball on their, to the wings. They're pushing the ball up the middle. They're getting every opportunity that they can.
We have a new sideline reporter tonight, Alyssa Sinikowski. We'll see what tidbits of knowledge she has dug up for us.
In Utah Valley University's 11th season in Division I play, they are competing for the first time in an automatic bid league. With a win tonight, they win a shared conference title with New Mexico State, and a win on Friday guarantees them a #1 seed berth into the WAC tournament. The #1 seed team will play on March 13th at noon in the New Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Back to you, Jen.
Texas Pan Am comes away with it. (18-9) with 6.5 to play first half. Not going down that time for Hines. We talk about Utah Valley shooting just 19%. It's 53% shooting for Texas Pan American.
Yeah.
They haven't hit a three either. Both teams combined for 0 and 8. Ben Aird feeds inside. Zach Nelson. And a foul from behind. That one's going to go against Majewski.
Yeah, the Wolverines are giving their big guys opportunities inside to post up. You know, Ben's had a lot of opportunities inside. We see a high-low play here. Zach working inside, holding off the defender. We get the foul called inside, but you know, they've tried to pound that ball inside. They just haven't had any shots fall down for them.
1-1. Redshirt freshman buries the first. That stops an 8-0 run Texas Pan American was on. UVU's last field goal from the floor came at the 11:26 mark. Coming up on 6 minutes, I go. And yet they're only down by 7. Well, we told you this might be a low-scoring game.
Oh, legal screen.
Explain why that is illegal as Leathers getting called for the foul.
Well, both players were moving. Obviously, Keawe chasing the defender, but Leathers was not set when he came over to set that screen. You have to be set when you're setting those screens, and you'll see here he was still moving into Keawe. Good call from the official.
8th team foul. First foul on Leathers. Great ball movement by the Wolverines. 3-point attempt. Nothing but air. Tipped out by UVU.
You said it, Jim. I mean, that was terrific ball movement. Very unselfish play. Every player just making one more pass.
No Wolverine has made more than one basket. Evans, Garrity, Brunel, and Hunsaker each have a basket tonight. They're 4 of 22 as a team. 18% shooting in this first half. 11 points in 15 minutes of action. Insert your own adjective here.
I mean, you could say anything. I guess the thing to say is that Pan Am only has 18 points themselves, so neither team lighting it up offensively.
Boga had to put it up. Shot clock was winding down. UVU's pulled down their 19th rebound. They might set a record for rebounds in this game, the way these two missing shots. Although Pan American, bless their hearts, 9 of 18. That's 50%. That looks like gold right now. There you go.
Yeah, the initial action was to get a 3-point shot from Holton on the wing, but Pan Am stopped that initially. And look how wide open Ben is at the high post. You have 2 Pan Am defenders going to him. Mitch reads that, cuts along the baseline back door. Terrific effort there from Mitch, fronting the post, knocking the ball away.
UVU went 7 minutes without scoring a basket from the floor. They did have a couple free throws in that stretch. Keawe Enos to the hole. Contact. Pan American basketball. Timeout on the floor. Wolverines of Utah Valley, just 13 points with 3:47 to play here in the first half. They're trailing Texas Pan American by 5.
I don't think of myself as just an undergrad. Okay, so I'm a sophomore, but I'm at UVU where it's all about engaged learning. Leading a project on DNA research, I don't have to wait for grad school to get this kind of experience. As a UVU student, I guess you could say engaged learning is in my DNA.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
UVU's just got 1 game left. That comes next week on Friday night, and this normally they'd play Saturday, but this is why. Next Saturday, a week from tonight, the NCAA West Regionals Wrestling Tournament will be held here in the UCCU Center. You see some pretty big names, especially if you're a wrestling fan. Those are some stellar names nationally that are going to be in here for the West Regionals. We'll talk a little bit more about that at halftime, but boy, oh boy, good weekend coming up next week for UVU fans. Last home game of the men's basketball season Friday night, and then the West Regionals of the NCAA wrestling tournament on Saturday. 3:47 to play here, first half. Utah Valley has put up 24 shots and made 5. It's 20%.
And again, no, not to beat a dead horse, but
too late, I think. I've been beating it all night.
0 of 6 from the 3.
Go ahead, pal.
They're nearly a game and a half into without a three-point shot, which is so unaccustomed to what we've seen from them. And
Danzler in the lane. Was he fouled before the shot or not? The officials will confer and decide. The shot does not count. Zach Nelson going to be called for the foul.
Yeah,
that would count in the NBA.
I thought they had initially called that on Holton, but as we get Holton with a turnover here.
He'll take it in. Missed the layup. Garrity with the follow.
Nice job of hustling there. I mean, the thought a lot of times is that Holton's going to finish that, and there's no need for you as a teammate to run down. You see it so often. Most players don't cross the half-court line, but a nice job of 2 Wolverine players, Hayes Garrity, coming up with the ball and the finish there.
That's the first time here in this half, in this game, UVU coming up with another steal. You say that's the first time that UVU has scored back-to-back baskets without allowing Pan American to score something in between. UVU's biggest run right now, 6-0. Had a couple of free throws and a couple of baskets.
High-low. Zach looking to work that ball inside.
Takes it to the hole and in.
And that's really nice because, again, the play is designed to go inside. But in Zach's situation, when the defender is up on you, crowding you, trying to prevent you from making that pass inside, you got to alleviate the pressure, and he did just that by driving.
UVU almost coming up with another steal. We talked about UVU's scoring drought. Texas Pan American hasn't scored in over 4 minutes. Scored anything. Still haven't. Their last points came at the 6:39 mark. Wolverines can take the lead. It would be their first lead. Well, we'll wait till it happens to tell you. Last time they led it was 5-4. Fine, I'll sneak that in there.
Pan American here in a 2-3 zone.
Wolverine basketball. I almost got that thing.
You did. We've had a couple of.
I'm keeping it. If I ever get a basketball, I'm keeping it.
I'd like to see you try. That would be.
How much those things
cost? That would be interesting.
Yeah. Find another ball. I'm keeping this one. Hunsaker. Wow, what a battle inside for the rebound. Ben Aird got tangled up with Josh Cleveland, I think.
You know, if I'm Coach Hipsher at halftime.
No, it was Hines. I'm sorry. Shaquille Hines.
You see Holton with the 3, but watch Ben working inside, swimming around the defender in there, and positioning himself right in the middle of the paint. But again, if I'm Coach Hipsher at halftime, I am, pounding it into my players' heads that the reason that UVU is in the game, they're not shooting the ball well, but the reason is they've got 11 offensive rebounds in the first half, and even though they haven't made a lot of those second chance opportunities, they have possession. They wear down the defense of Pan Am, and it's just going to get worse throughout the rest of the game.
It's a 10-0 run for UVU. It hasn't been pretty, but they've taken the lead. 19-18. Would have been 35 left. Leathers missing from outside. Rebound fought for, but it's going to go to UVU after the foul on Shaquille Hines. And for Hines, that's going to be foul number 3. Majewski's already got 2. Johnson has 2. Now Hines has 3. 10th team foul.
And this is exactly how you block out if you're a guard or on the perimeter. That's the hardest area to block out in. Mitch Bernil doing a nice job of blocking out Hines. They're forcing Hines to go over the back.
$11 straight points for UVU now.
Coach Hipsher complaining about the foul situation. 10 fouls on Pan Am, 4 on the Wolverines, but I think it's been a fairly officiated game, first half at least.
And we've never been accused of being biased, have we?
Never. Never will be either.
You don't read the same message boards I do. Hey, we're supposed to be. It's UVU TV, for crying out loud. Wolverines lead this one by 3. Their biggest lead. Texas Pan American did lead by 9 at one time. That won't go. A minute left here in the first half.
I made the comment a lot this year too, and in previous years, that if your offense isn't going well, you can always play good defense, because we know the Wolverines are, as you said, the best defensive team in the WAC conference, and that's what they're relied on here. Offense hasn't been going, but their defense has steadied it for them.
Turnover, Wolverines. Their 6th layup. That won't go, and he's charging. Boga picks up his first.
See Holton get back, position himself. The only question there, I saw some Pan Am players suggesting that it was inside the arc, but I think he was outside of it. And again, we saw a charge on a drive earlier from Holton, and that time in transition, just standing there waiting for the charge.
Hildebrandt into the ball game for Texas Pan American, Christian Hildebrandt. Coach Dan Hipsher probably going deeper into his bench than he expected to. Johnson, Majewski with 2, Hines with 3 fouls. The others, Boga and McIntosh with 1 each. Tried to get it inside.
Yeah,
Texas Pan American basketball.
And what you do when you don't want to foul as a defense, you go into a zone, just as Pan Am did there, and Holton coming out of the game because that was a designed lob play against the zone. But Holton, I think, threw that ball before he knew that his teammate was going to be open, because there was no chance of converting on that lob pass. But maybe Pan Am will play that zone defense a lot more being in foul trouble.
Texas Pan American going for the last shot. 7 seconds left, first half. Jumper outside, good for 3. There's your buzzer. Can you believe this? This score is going to raise some eyebrows in both Las Cruces and Bakersfield tonight. At halftime, the Wolverines of Utah Valley 21, Texas Pan American 21.
People talk about life after college, entering the real world. But this is engaged learning. I'm not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. I'm learning by doing. I'm at UVU. I'm in the real world every day.
Bus pass, $5. UVU t-shirt so you can impress the ladies, $25. iPod Nano, $120. A degree from UVU so you can afford your own car someday. Priceless. For everything else, there's student loans.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills. I had an idea. Lots of people have ideas. But engaged learning helped me develop my idea and make it real. And now with sales over $1 million, best assignment ever.
Back at halftime here at the UCCU Center, Jim McCullough, I'm with Matt Peterson. You know, a lot of excitement coming into this one. UVU could clinch the WAC title, at least a share of it tonight, qualify for the NIT, be the #1 seed, and they come out and lay an egg, quite frankly, in the first half, Matt.
Yeah, it has not been the best basketball that we've seen from the Wolverines by any stretch, but you know, I guess they can hang their hat on the defensive effort that they've given. They can hang their hat on the fact that they have 11 offensive rebounds, but you know, other than that, the shooting has just been dismal. And, you know, I think what is probably most frustrating, Coach Hunsaker, I'm just going to go on a limb here, but the mistakes that they've made have not been physical mistakes. You know, I think they're playing hard. I think they're playing hard. They've been more mental mistakes. You know, passes that were not supposed to be made and shots that were, you know, maybe not supposed to be taken. But on the baskets that we do see, I mean, the Wolverines have got and done what they wanted. It's just they're struggling offensive. They're trying to find their identity in this game, and they just haven't been able to do so.
You're seeing the highlight package of the first half. That was basket number 5. That's number 6. And you saw 6 out of 7 baskets the Wolverines made in the first half. 21 points in the first half. Yep. They put up 28 shots and made 7. Missed all 7 of the 3-pointers. I don't mean to be critical, but I don't think the Wolverines were mentally ready for that. And before you jump in there, let me just say, sure, I'm glad I'm not in the locker room right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably getting an earful.
Yeah,
and as well they should be, I think, to some degree. You know, I don't want to say that lightly, but right. I mean, again, just the mental mistakes that they've made, it just shows that they're not as sharp as they need to be mentally. And, you know, say what you want about the short turnaround or the game, the emotions that were on Thursday night, but you know, things just have not gone as they have planned tonight.
45% shooting for Texas Pan American. That's above their average of 41% on the season. 8 points from Hines, 6 points from Boga. For UVU, Brunel 6, Nelson 4, Garrity 4, 2 each from Ben Aird, Holton Hunsaker, 3 from Brendan Evans. 1, 2, 3 other Wolverines saw action, did not score. Wolverines 21 points in that first half. Did pull down 24 rebounds. Silver lining somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, and they had 7 turnovers as a team, and so, you know, 3 assists, 7 turnovers, that's never going to get you anywhere in a half of basketball, and they just haven't found their rhythm offensively.
Although the Wolverines did score 12 straight points to lead 21-18 before that 3-pointer. All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll talk to Jared Sumption, who's an assistant or an associate athletic director here at UVU. All sorts of things to talk to him about, but not what you think we're going to talk about. All that coming up here at the Halftime Show.
I'm Patty Garcia, a geology student at UVU, and this is Engaged Learning. At UVU, I'm learning by doing.
Welcome to Utah Valley University, home to an educational philosophy that engages its students in hands-on, practical education. I invite you to learn more about one of Utah's largest, fastest growing, and most dynamic universities.
We're at halftime here at the UCCU Center. Wolverines of Utah Valley, yeah, #1 in the WAC, tied with Pan American Broncos at halftime, 21 apiece. We're joined courtside by Associate Athletic Director Jared Sumption. How's the last couple of days been for you there, friend? Busy?
It's the last 48 hours have been an exciting time for us. Jim.
Don't say anything else. You can get in trouble. I'll probably, I'm expendable. You're not. I know a lot of folks are tuned in to see what we might have to say about what happened at the end of the New Mexico State game on Thursday. The official line is we don't have anything to say yet. Investigation still continues. Fair? Just nod your head.
Very fair.
All right. Yep. Tell me what else is going on. Can you believe this first half? 21-21?
Yeah, we need to take the saran wrap off the basketball hoop and start making some shots. But we will. This is a little bit how last game went, and we started finally hitting some shots. The guys will calm down a little bit. We'll be fine. You are the eternal optimist, and that's what I love about you. Next week we play on Friday because there's a big deal on Saturday in this building. Correct. Which is? Next Saturday is the NCAA West Wrestling Regional. I'm glad you had to say that. I've been practicing. I bet. This is the first time Utah Valley University has hosted an NCAA Division I regional. There will be folks from the NCAA here to watch and see how we do it. We've been preparing for months for this, and we're ready. Our guys are ready to compete. We got some tough competition, Wyoming Air Force. Lots of good wrestlers in the house. So it's just a one-day deal, right? It's one day, yeah. It starts at noon next Saturday. Wow, so it's not even a full day, really? Not a full day, yeah. We run through all the top wrestlers in the conference. They're all competing for the NCAA big tournament there at the end, which is in Oklahoma City this year. So a wrestler that would win here automatically qualifies there. Correct. And then I'm not a big wrestling guru here. You're going to have to help me along. And then All-American status is earned somehow, correct? Correct. Yes, All-American status is earned at the NCAAs. I believe if you place in the top 8, you are an All-American. We had an All-American a few years ago in Ben Kerr, the first wrestling All-American with our school. And Ben has been a great advocate for the school. But as far as next Saturday goes, it's going to be a great night, great date for us. Starts at noon. We'll move it through their preliminary rounds. They'll get to the finals for first, second, and third place, and that'll start at 6 o'clock. Tickets are cheap. We're only going $10 for an adult ticket, $5 for a youth ticket, 18 and under. For the whole day? For the whole day. Okay. And then $3 for group rates, and you can give us a call and we'll work out a group rate for you. Nice. Should be fun. Now you also got 2 weeks from now a little tournament going on in Las Vegas. That's right. The WAC tournament. Hard to believe that UVU is in an automatic qualifying conference and basically fighting for the #1 seed at this point. Absolutely. It is. Tonight's a big game. I believe if we win, we at least have a share of the championship, and we'll likely go in as the #1 seed. It's a time that we've never experienced here at UVU, and something that we hope will continue. But Vegas is great. There's a lot of hype for that. We have just a few all-session passes left, and boy, it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. It has been already. Should be fun. Women start on Wednesday. The men play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Championship game Saturday night on ESPNU. Correct. Should be fun. They're telling me we're out of time. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Thank you. Thanks for not saying much, and thanks for saying a lot. I love talking to you, Jared. 21-21, Texas Pan American, Utah Valley at halftime. Back with your second half coming up. I felt that the NBA offered me the most in terms of
what I could do with it once I graduated. It's international recognition. I could go to Europe, Asia, South America, and people recognize the name MBA. It means that the person that holds that degree has a certain level of understanding of business management concepts and practices, that they can understand what it means to follow best practices in accounting or marketing or sales, and I wanted to have that associated with my name.
Well, the goals that I achieved by enrolling in UVU's MBA program were primarily to gain a CPA so I could do more for customers in terms of going beyond bookkeeping. I also just wanted to make a change in life.
My main reason of why I ended up pursuing it was because of marketability. I wanted to be marketable in case I wanted to say I want to do something different down the line. And getting the MBA opens up those doors if you want to take that change in your career path.
(21-21). Wolverines of Utah Valley tied at halftime. Probably they didn't have a chance to check, but maybe one of their lowest scoring first halves ever. Matt, I'm going to let you revisit your keys to victory that we talked about in the pregame show.
Yeah, sure. First one was avoid a letdown after Thursday's big win. I think the verdict so far has been that they have had a little bit of a letdown. You know, they've got 20 more minutes of basketball. But so far, the first half, I think, would qualify as a letdown. That second point or second key, handle the defensive pressure. I think they've really struggled with that and struggled at times. And lastly, defend the Pan American backcourt. You know, obviously they've done a good job of that. Shaquille Boga really the only threat so far in the first half with 6 points. So, you know, they've done pretty well on 2 of the 3, but you know, I think the first 2 were probably the biggest and most important of the 3 keys.
And we probably owe our viewers an apology. We've been talking first half about Javon Farrell, who leads Texas Pan American with 16 points a game. Graduate student from Woodbridge, Virginia, and kept saying, why didn't he start? Why isn't he playing? He's not even here.
Yeah, foot injury.
Well, he's not dressed out.
Yeah, I asked our coaches at halftime about that, and he said that he's got a foot injury, and so they said he was here, but he's obviously hasn't played and won't play with that foot injury. So
it's one of those things that the SID offices from one of the 2 schools are supposed to let the TV guys know.
That'd be nice.
I told you, you're just on the wrong message boards. 21-21, and I'm going to get off all of them, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to say something about that, too, is when you have a 16-point score, I made a brief mention of it in the first half, but when you have a 16-point score not in your lineup and not playing, those points have to be made up, or, you know, the idea or theory is that those points have to be made up from somewhere else. And so, you know, you're going to have to be aware of other players who maybe don't play as prominent a role to step up in tonight's game, and I think they've seen that a little bit. But you know, it's a very low-scoring game, so who knows if those 16 points will need to be made up. But you know, other players who you aren't maybe going to be expecting big things from them, they'll have to step up.
Both teams on track to have their lowest scoring game this year. Keawe Enos.
Yeah, the 3 drought continues. Look, I was going to mention the pressure that Pan Am, they didn't do that in the first half. They almost looked to be trapping as far out as they could. The Wolverines got a great look, just didn't knock it down, but Pan Am's picked up their aggressiveness.
Wolverines haven't hit a 3 in a week.
Nice job there, Ben fighting around the post on the ball reversal. So hard for a big guy to get around as that ball is reversed, but nice job of Ben creating space, getting around, not fouling.
Ball slapped away momentarily from Johnson. Beating the shot clock just barely. Pan Am comes away with an offensive rebound and then throws it away. Keawe Enos, who's been cold the last couple of games from three-point land, was the hero in regulation when he drained 3 straight free throws and sent the game into overtime Thursday. Tonight, Keawe 0 for 3 from the floor.
And again,
scoreless,
yeah, 2-3 zone here. Wolverines just take their time.
You know, I was hoping to jinx the jinx, but it didn't work.
jinx the jinx, reverse the jinx somehow, but Mitch Brunel with the push off there on the offensive rebound. You know, I love the way that the Wolverines run their offense against the zone. I think they do a really nice job of taking their time, not forcing anything. Those are two great looks from Keawe. Those are just spectacular looks, and you know, just not able to finish.
Brunel, second foul, stays out there. Hayes Garrity comes in and replaces Keawe Enos in the Wolverine lineup. Wolverines missed their first 2 shots of this half. Went up with a couple of turnovers and almost gave the ball back, but it'll belong to UVU.
You're going to get a sub here, Jim, and Keawe's just taken out. He's coming right back in because Coach Hunsaker was not happy with that pass from Hayes Garrity ahead. Again, that's one of those mental mistakes. Unless you know that it's absolutely certain, don't throw that ball because it was nearly picked off, and it goes back to that mental mistake.
Nelson for 3.
There we go.
That's their first 3-pointer since Kansas City game a week ago tonight.
Nice job of Zach running the baseline for a big guy. You know, normally against the zone he'll be inside, but a nice job of kind of overloading one side for UVU, and the jinx is over.
We're sort of hoping that opens up the floodgates and UVU can shoot the way they have all season. Team that shoots 44% on the year. Keawe for 3. Brunel with the offensive rebound and the putback.
Mitch is such a good offensive rebounder. When you get that shot in the corner, if you're a weak side, if you're someone on the weak side, all you have to do is seal off that weak side. Odds are that ball's going to come right to you, and Mitch was in perfect position, squared off, and nice finish.
Coach Dan Hipscher of Texas Pan American wants to take a timeout. 26-21, going back to the first half. The Wolverines now have outscored them 17-3. Before that 3-ball tied it up at 21, the Wolverines had run off 12 straight points, and they start the second half with 5 straight.
You see, here's that replay. Mitch on the weak side. You see him just square himself up, get his shoulders parallel to the rim. Because the offense, the ball was overloaded on one side, the defense had to rotate over, no one on the backside, and Mitch in perfect position.
Gives us a chance to check in on a couple of other scores in the WAC. Grand Canyon with a 6-point lead at halftime over Chicago State. Up in Seattle, they just underway, about 3 minutes deep. Idaho with a 2-point lead at 11-9, and then that other interesting game in Bakersfield. They just tipped off. A minute and a half deep into that one, and Bakersfield has a 2-0 lead over New Mexico State. So we've talked about UVU needing to win. Technically, you could say UVU needs to win to clinch a share, or New Mexico State needs to lose. And a combination of those two things, a UVU win and a New Mexico State loss tonight, would be an outright championship for UVU. They wouldn't have to share it. But we still got a lot of time before any of that happens. 17:26 to play here at the UCCU Center. Second to last game of the year, regular season for UVU. One more game at home next Friday night against Bakersfield.
You know, let's see who Pan America goes to on offense, because you know their defense did some good things for them in the first half, but they're going to have to score some points. So let's see what they try and do offensively. You know, you look for Shaquille Boga to be heavily involved, and then Shaquille Hines to be heavily involved too. Those are, to me, the main scoring threats with this lineup that they have on the floor.
Provost working out front. Toivonen. 6 seconds to shoot. Boga saw the shot clock, somehow got the ball over to Toivonen, who put it up and in.
I think they may I don't know if they're going to be looking to review this. That was awfully close for when Toivonen had that ball and when it left his fingertips to win the ball, or excuse me, when the shot clock went off. I think they're going to count this. We'll probably have to watch the far basket, the light on the far basket. Too close to call there.
Couldn't tell. And the officials are not going to come check it out.
I wonder if, I don't know if that's something that you can't review or if they were convinced that it was a basket. Either way, call stands.
Wolverines lead, cut to 3. Zach Nelson feeds Ben Harrod, went down but got it back to Zach. Slapped away. UVU basketball, 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Mitch Bernil working hard inside there against LJ McIntosh. Ball goes into Ben at the high post, trying to get some high-low action inside, but TJ McIntosh at the last minute swiped it away.
Brunel leading scorer for UVU in this game with 8 points. Hunsaker puts it up to beat the clock. Airballs that one. No foul called. Holton claiming he was hit on the arm as he put that one up.
That's the second time tonight we've seen the shot clock get run out as the 3 ball is being launched from outside.
Holton not having his usual night from the floor, just 1 of 9 shooting. Jumper won't go. Inside feed, Ben Aird. Whistle well before he was able to spin and get that one up and in. Foul's going to go against Toivonen, Texas Pan Am.
To the young ones, the small ones, the ones they had planned on leaving in their shadow. I know your determination, your heart, the need you have to prove something, the sweat, the miles, the hours that stretch into days and nights and years. I know because I've been there. And now is ours. The earth and the sky are ours. And this is where you belong. Join us. We're waiting for you. And so are they.
Watch Ben here. You see how he runs down the middle of the lane.
I didn't see a foul.
Yeah,
I'm not smart enough to see a foul there.
I thought that should have been let go too, because it would have been advantageous for the Wolverines, obviously. Ben getting the ball that far into the paint, but you see Ben running right down the middle of the court, kind of swinging into the defender, holding him off, feet really wide, hands really wide. I watched him that whole possession, and he called for that ball, and immediately after he called for it, Holton passed it in there. So great job of running and posting up in transition by Ben there. And the defender in that case is just helpless because Ben is such a big body. Toivonen is undersized, and Ben had a clear advantage.
UVU starting 5 on the floor. About 4 minutes deep into our second half. UVU's outscored them 5-2 here in the second half. Ouch.
Turnover there. That was the exact same play that was run Thursday night against New Mexico State, where Ben was setting the screen just like he did there, and there was an offensive foul that put Ben at the line. Just that time the ball went right through Keawe's hands.
Jumper outside for 3. Splash from LJ McIntosh.
Yeah, that was a really nice job of taking their time on the double team and miscommunication on the perimeter there as McIntosh was wide open for that 3-point shot.
Ben Aird jump hook will go.
Ben's working really hard inside, and we saw it on the transition post up that he had that time too. When he can get that ball, it doesn't matter how far out of the paint he is. He's long. He can take 1 or 2 dribbles and get himself in perfect position.
On the drive by Shaquille Hines, foul's going to get called. Dick Hunsaker, his second.
Yeah, see Shaquille, look how much space he has in that paint. You see Holden come over there, forced to reach in. Holden didn't have enough time to get his body in front of Shaquille Hines. Has to reach in, try and swipe away at the ball.
Hines with 9 points now. He's out there with 3 fouls. Started the second half. Been out there the whole time. Only player for either team with 3 fouls. Hines, first player for either team in double figures.
Here's that full 3/4 court pressure. It's like not trying to trap in any way, but man-to-man pressure. Nice job of handling. A good screen set there from Zach. Wasn't moving and knocked the defender off.
6 ties, 4 lead changes in this game.
Great play there. Another high-low action. Ben and Zach throughout the season have had some really good chemistry on their high-low games. Doesn't matter who's the passer, doesn't matter who's the receiver. That time perfect post up from Ben and an even better pass from Zach.
Ben Aird with 6 points, 4 of them here in the second half. 6 minutes gone. Ben Aird with a block after Brunel hit the ground, and Hines, sophomore out of Chicago, thought he had a nice spin move.
Yeah, the possession before in this one, I mean, again, look how much space is there. Nice job of moving his feet from Mitch there, getting in front. No foul called. I like the no foul there, but they're maybe trying to isolate Shaquille Hines in certain spots on the floor, depending who's guarding him.
Cleveland with the jumper. Ben Aird with his 5th rebound. Keawe Enos, bottom.
That's his 3rd attempt from that same spot in this half, and that time he had a lot of movement. Holden set a great first screen. Ben set a great second screen. Keawe had all the time in the world to set his feet and knocked it down.
Steal. Zach Nelson took it away that time. Feeds Mitch Brunel on the run. He saved it from going out of bounds. Ben Aird driving in. What a move for a big man.
Again, he's so long, he's so big, he has such an advantage when he can get right inside, and that is his move. Dribbling to his left with his right hand, turning over his left shoulder, a right-hand shot like that is exactly what Ben loves, and that's right in his wheelhouse. Knocks that down nearly every time.
Last 2 minutes of this game, it's been all UVU. They've scored 7 straight points. To our sideline reporter, Alyssa Sinikowski.
Thanks, Jim. So possibly the biggest story of tonight's game is the absence of Texas Pan Am's leading scorer, Javon Farrell. He injured his foot in last week's game against New Mexico State and has traveled with the team tonight, but will remain on the bench as the teams continue to play. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Alyssa. 12:50 to play. Wolverines starting to flex a little muscle. And, Matt, not only has the team, the Wolverines, looked sort of sluggish, lethargic, quite frankly, so's the environment, so's the crowd.
Yeah.
They came here expecting a championship game tonight. They haven't had much to cheer about.
Yeah, I like what the Wolverines have done in the last several minutes because they've really clamped down defensively. Pan Am has not got anything easily, and their offense is doing a lot of really good things too. Keawe hit that outside shot. Zach hit the corner three, and Ben's doing his thing inside.
Hunsaker wide open for three. Ben Air with the offensive rebound. Won't go. Hines with the rebound for Pan Am.
You have to think at some point Pan Am's going to do some type of double teaming on Ben if he gets the ball inside, because Ben's having his way.
Driving through the defense, Shaquille Boga picks up his 8th point tonight.
Yeah, that's a nice move. Left-hander going to his left. It's just trouble for a defense there. Athletic finish.
Quiets the crowd. Zach Nelson inside, won't go. He'll shoot 2 though, fouled on the attempt by Texas Pan American's Shaquille Hines, and that's foul number 4 on Hines.
I had an idea. Lots of people have ideas, but engaged learning helped me develop my idea and make it real. And now with sales over $1 million, best assignment ever.
Watch the post up here from Zach, doing a nice job of working off of the screen from Holden there and attacking Hines, who already had 3 fouls. As Shaquille Hines was coming off the court, Coach Hipsher made a motion. You see what happened there. His hands came down, and that's what caused the foul to be called there. If he were to stay his hands vertical straight up in the air, there would have been no foul there, but dropped his hands ever so slightly. But credit Zach for pressing and pushing the action there. You know, when you're that close to the basket, you have to be aggressive and go up strong, because chances are the defender is going to try and block the shot, and in that case he gets called for a foul. And he stays in the game too, so you mentioned it at the break, that would really hurt Pan Am if he fouls out of the game.
Yeah, you got to leave him out there. He's got 10 points. Next closest Boga has 8. After that, McIntosh with 3. Hildebrandt with 3. Zach Nelson free throw, no good. UVU now from the stripe, 7 of 10. UVU, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation. In fact, 12th in the nation at 76% as a team. Zach Nelson, 60% of the starting 5. Has the lowest percentage, but percentages say he should make at least 1 out of 2.
There you go.
36-30. 3-point attempt. Boga missed that one. Texas Pan American has put up 10 3-pointers and made just 2, 1 each half.
Yeah, working the ball inside. Holton setting some nice screens. This is going to get Keawe coming off a double screen here.
Wide open Brunel for 3.
Good play there. Work on that the first day of practice. Driving baseline, a weak side player finding that corner. It's exactly what you want.
McIntosh for 3, missed that one. Ben Air pulled down his 7th rebound.
Yeah, this is where you miss those 16 points and your best offensive player. And you could only hold it off for so long, but those shots that may have been falling in the first half are not so easy to come by in the second.
Yeah, with Hines on the bench with 4 fouls, UVU basketball. Texas Pan American's Dan Hipsher has to find some combination to get something going.
Yeah, and watch the action on these offensive possessions inside, because there is a lot of screening from bigs and screening from guards as well. Going to get Mitch wide open in the paint. but there is a ton of action inside with screening and with movement.
Toivonen picks up his second personal. Third team foul this half. You get the feeling the people here are just waiting for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
You never know what play's going to spring it to. We thought with that 3 from Keawe on the wing there, that was going to kind of turn the momentum in the Wolverines' favor. They just need to string together a couple baskets here.
Wolverines' last basket was 13-minute mark. Hunsaker tries to draw the charge, can't do it. Putback is good for McIntosh.
Yeah, nice job of McIntosh staying with it. Active inside. Coming up with the offensive rebound. And again, the fight that Pan America is putting up is pretty impressive. And they've been switching their defenses a little bit. Back now to a 2-3 zone.
Three-pointer, Keawe, bottom.
I love the attitude from Keawe, because if you're a shooter, as he is, and you struggled a little bit, don't stop. Keep shooting, keep firing.
Keawe Enos, the second best three-point shooter in the WAC. Was number 1 for most of the season. Missed a few of them on Thursday night against New Mexico State. Well, missed a lot of them, really.
Yeah, and he does a really nice job of moving, too. He's not just standing in one spot. He's creating these open shots for himself.
Three-point attempt, Hildebrand. Ben aired. 9 rebounds to go along with his 8 points.
Yeah. It's been some ugly shooting from three-point land tonight. 2 of 12 for Pan Am, 3 of 17 for the Wolverines.
They still got 9 minutes to play. Both up and snap out of that. Keawe tries to drive, draws the foul. Hildebrand.
Yeah, love the read there from Keawe. With him making those three-point shots, the defense pushes out on him, and he drives. He counteracts what they're trying to do. See the ball get swung over, a big guy rotating out, unbalanced, and Keawe just reads it and drives.
First foul against Hildebrand. 4th team foul this half.
Pan back to their man-to-man defense. Watch Ben inside. His ball will likely end up in his hands at some point as he's working inside.
Holton trying to drive, and Pan Am being called for yet another foul. Boga's going to pick up that one, his second. 6th team foul this half. UVU's been whistled for 2. Wolverines leading by 7 points. This is their largest lead of the game. Holden Hunsaker just can't buy a basket tonight. He's 1 of 12 shooting. UVU will maintain possession. 30 seconds on their shot clock to work with. Keawe Enos in and out. Rebound, Toivonen. Boga slashes his way in. Foul's going to get called, I believe, on Holton Hunsaker. It'll be number 3 on Holton. Brings us to immediate timeout. Just under 8 minutes left in this one. Incredibly low-scoring game here in Orem, Utah.
I'm Joe Luce, an anthropology student at UVU, and this is my classroom. At UVU, I'm sharpening my mind and my skills.
Wolverines shot just 25% in the first half. Second half much better at 41%. Look how the tables have turned, though. Texas Pan Am, who shot 45% in the first half, just 25% shooting here in the second half. Must be the basket, Matt.
Must be. Both teams really struggling with their shooting tonight. I think for UVU on defense, you know, what it really is going to come down to, you're going to have two guys that are going to press the issue, and that's going to be Shaquille Hines and Shaquille Boga. That's who Pan Am is going to go to. That's who they're going to have to go to. So it's going to be centered around them. And I think for UVU on offense, I think you're going to get a lot of action of Ben Aird inside. And he's going to be working hard. If it doesn't go to him, Zach will be in there working with him, because the guards for the Wolverines not shooting real well. We see the last replay here. Shaquille Boga driving to his left with his left hand. Again, it's going to come down to this guy right here at the free throw line. He's going to have the ball in his hands.
Boga on the season, 72% free throw shooter. Tonight, 0 for 2. As a team, Texas Pan American 2 of 6 from the stripe. UVU's lead is 6.
Here comes some more full court pressure. You'll see Zach sit right at the half court line waiting to set that screen.
Hunsaker's out there with 3 fouls for UVU. Meanwhile, for Texas Pan American, Hines back out there with 4 fouls. Keawe trying to spring free between the double team. He's fouled. That one against Hines. And Coach Dan Hipsher can't believe it. He just fouled out of the game with 7:22 to play.
See the replay here. Keawe posting up.
Wow.
Oh, that's a tough call.
Well, sometimes a no call is better than.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that should have been more of a no call.
Well, they're already missing Javon Farrell, their leading scorer on the season at 16 points a game, out with an injured foot. Now the leading scorer in this game, Shaquille Hines, goes to the bench for good with 10 points, 5 rebounds.
And that was the last offensive type possession that I was expecting from the Wolverines, with Keawe getting the ball in a post up, but credit him for being aggressive inside and drawing that 5th foul.
The 5 players Texas Pan American has on the floor right now have combined for 16 points in this game. Hunsaker forces up the shot, wants the continuation foul. He's not going to get it. Instead, it's going to be Shaquille Boga called for his 3rd personal foul. And he's their 2nd leading scorer on the night with 9 points. Dan Hipsher just sitting there in disbelief at what he's watching.
Yeah, I think what Pan Am has to be careful of, I mean, the Wolverines are now in the bonus for the rest of the game. But you can have pressure on defense, but you can't have overly aggressive pressure on defense, because the Wolverines are very good at reading that, and Holton is very good at reading that. And if he sees that you're out pressuring in and you're overextended, they're going to drive and they're going to be aggressive and try and draw fouls, and that's exactly what happened.
It's an 8-point lead for UVU, their biggest of the game. Just under 7 minutes left here at the UCCU Center, separating UVU from clinching the WAC championship, at least a share of it. Toivonen.
Yeah, nice job, Toivonen, there with utilizing shot fakes, ball fakes, pivot foot. He used it all there inside. Tough to defend. Nice basket there.
Hunsaker for 3, deep 3. Hunsaker has missed all 7 of his 3-point attempts tonight. Turnaround jumper is good from Boga.
Yeah, you know, Holton went for the steal there, which at the time seemed okay, but what that did is it gave Boga nobody defending him, and he was able to drive on the bigs from the Wolverines. Holton wasn't able to recover, and he gets the basket.
UVU hasn't had a basket in 4 minutes now.
I think Holton even deflected that ball, but right into the hands of Toivonen.
Nobody for UVU in double figures yet. Zach Nelson. Floater won't go. Tips it out to Brunel. Five and a half minutes left. UVU, Coach Dick Hunsaker wants to take a timeout. He looks a little perplexed to me.
Yeah, I think he's frustrated, and I think the Wolverine players are frustrated. You can see it. They're not able to do the things that they're accustomed to doing, but it isn't going to always go your way, and they've just fought their way through it.
Well, that makes me worry, man, because you're coming off a very emotional game Thursday, a quick turnaround, as you call it, 48 hours. But 2 weeks from now, when you're in the WAC tournament, you've got to win the thing, or even to get to the championship game. That's 3 games in 3 days.
I completely agree. It's it's a test here tonight, but that's an even bigger test. But it just goes to show how difficult it is to win games in your conference, especially where you're playing a team for the second time. Wolverines probably ran a lot of the same plays in the first matchup. The Pan Am ran a lot of the same plays tonight that they did in the first matchup also. So I agree with you, Jim. It's, the Wolverines are going to have to learn from this. And granted, we still have 5.5 minutes left in a 4-point lead. So there's a lot of game left to be played.
Ben Aird outside jumper. Rebound. McIntosh. Texas Pan Am.
And the key word with all that, Jim, is consistency, right? I mean, that's what you're looking for as a team, is you've got to be consistent.
11th turnover for Texas Pan American. Under 5 minutes now. UVU, very deliberate. Nothing new for them. They've been very deliberate all season long. Ben Aird just can't get that one down. UVU cooling off now. Man, 7 of 21 this half.
I don't know how many times that play has been run and how many times the ball has been in and out, and Ben has had just tremendous opportunities, but what is killing Pan America is their inability to make any type of a three-point basket or any type of a jump shot either. They've gone cold just as the Wolverines have.
First game between these two, Ben Aird had 8 points, 10 rebounds. Tonight, Ben Aird, 8 points, 10 rebounds. Coming up on 4 minutes left.
And again, this zone defense, it's like a 1-1-3, but then they spread it out to a 2-3, 2 seconds on the shot clock.
It's been over 6 minutes since UVU made a basket from the floor. They have 2 free throws in that stretch. Boga outside, that won't go. As bad as UVU is shooting, just 28% on the game. Luckily for them, Texas Pan American struggling here in the second half, shooting just 6 of 20 themselves. It has not been a pretty game.
Shooting-wise, not in the least.
But at this stage of things, only the W counts. Ben Aird feeds Brunel, shot blocked inside, foul at Pan Am. That one's going to go against Majewski. It'll be his third. Wolverines by 4.
They say the devil is in the details. And in here, there are a lot of details. Flavor, color, texture, temperature, presentation. It all has to be flawless. Pressure? Maybe. But with engaged learning, I get a lot of practice. And I'll bet your homework never tasted this good.
For those who might not be familiar with UVU, checking us out after all the publicity this week, located in Orem, Utah. 45 minutes south. "45 minutes south of Salt Lake City." Dick Hunsaker, head coach. Been Division I for about 5-6 years now. Provisional status for a while. Just joined the WAC this year. Willie the Wolverine, their mascot, green and gold. 32,000 students. All right, on the season, UVU's scoring low has been 40 points, so they have eclipsed that. Their second lowest point total this season was 49 points against New Mexico State. Meanwhile, Pan Am's lowest game this season, 46 points. That's their low. That was against Texas A&M, at Texas A&M. Here's the replay on that last foul.
Yeah, again, I think to close the game, you're going to get heavy doses of Ben inside, and he's going to be on the move. He's not going to just be standing in one spot, posting up. He's going to be ducking in. He's going to be coming off of screens. He's going to be really active inside. I think that's where the Wolverines will look to go. Of course, off that miss is where Mitch got that rebound and ended up at the free throw.
Mitch Brunel, 9 points. No Wolverine in double figures tonight. Nelson and Air with 8, Enos 6, Hunsaker 4. Under 3 minutes to play. Here's a three. Boga.
Again, Jim, it's going to come down to him. He is their offensive threat. He's the scorer, but what he also is trying to do is set the table for his teammates. But the one guy that you cannot leave at the three-point line is him.
He's got 14 points. That was his first 3 tonight. 2.5 minutes left. Wolverines nursing a 2-point lead. Air. Contact inside. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, terrific screen there. I believe it was Keawe that set that screen inside to screen Ben coming along the baseline, and terrific pass. See Keawe setting that up screen, freeing Ben up in there, and again, just go straight up when you're right there underneath the basket. Just go straight up. Good things are going to happen.
Toivoinen's third foul. Ben Aird now. 9 points to go along with 11 rebounds. Big man from Bountiful, Utah. Misses the second. Remains a 3-point UVU lead.
And let's see how Pan Am uses Boga. They're probably going to be setting some screens, some on-ball screens here. You see he has the choice of going either direction.
Jumper outside McIntosh. That won't go, but rebound Leathers. McIntosh will take an NBA 3 this time. Missed that one. Ben Aird pulls down another rebound. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, you hear Coach Hipsher right in front of us saying that he ran that play initially for Justin Leathers. So Justin Leathers had that 3, but decided not to take it. But 2 really good looks from McIntosh. I thought the second one was a little forced. Should have maybe used a little bit more clock, not taking such a far out shot.
Inside to Aird, fumbled the pass. Oh, they're going to say it was slapped out of bounds by Majewski. Wolverine basketball with 1:36 to play.
Yeah, 10 seconds on the shot clock. In these short shot clock situations, the Wolverines have struggled tonight, so they've got to be aware there's 10 seconds left.
Not sure Keawe. Now they look up there and see it. Brunel. He will take it, and it's blocked outside. Ben Aird tried to grab it, picked up by Majewski. 1:25. 3-point lead for UVU.
And here comes that double screen up top. You got Toivonen and Leathers setting it up. Let's see this time if Leathers takes the shot, and he does.
In and out. He hasn't made a shot yet. He's missed all 6 of his attempts.
Wow, that was in and out. And that was the exact same play that they ran previously, where Coach Hipsher was yelling that they ran the play for him. So it's exactly the play that they drew up, but that was in and out.
Energy starting to build here. Wolverines 50-something seconds away from clinching. Hang on to a 3-point lead. Keawe for 3. Missed it. And it'll be Pan Am basketball as Zach Nelson was on the baseline when touching the ball.
Yeah,
40.3 seconds left. 35 on the shot clock, so they can't play for the last shot to tie it.
And no fouls here. If you're the Wolverines, you want no fouls whatsoever called. They're running play where McIntosh is coming off of a double screen, but this is going to be Leathers again.
The follow by
they're going to have to foul
with 18.1. Coach Dan Hipsher having a little discussion with Justin Leathers. Instead of going for the 3 to tie, they got a 2. And then they fouled the best free throw shooter in the Western Athletic Conference to put Holton Hunsaker on the free throw line.
Yeah, interesting scenario, or interesting couple seconds there, because I agree with you. It was, you know, I can't blame McIntosh for driving and taking the shot that he did, but you know, immediately after they made that basket, they fouled Holton to put him at the line.
Wow. Well, another nail-biter of a finish. And people are going to see this score and say, well, that's a halftime score, right?
Yeah.
No, it's 43-42 with just 18.1 seconds left in the game.
You see the replay here of the last foul. Holton got that ball in. I'm not understanding why Coach Hipsher, he seemed like he was upset at Leathers there for fouling, but he almost had to foul. They down one with 18 seconds left. Maybe they wanted to try and get some type of trap attempt in, but either way, he fouled immediately and puts Holton at the line.
And if UVU fans are counting on maybe a New Mexico State loss, I'm not sure that's going to happen. At halftime, they lead Bakersfield 33-20. 43-42. The Wolverines of Utah Valley have a 1-point lead.
You know, for Holton at the line, obviously gets 2 free throws. So make or miss after the second one, depending on what the score is, you're going to get the ball in the hands of Shaquille Boga. And I would bet, I mean, maybe they'll run a similar play that they did to get Leathers the three-pointer a little bit earlier. But they might come up and set, you know, multiple ball screens, trying to get Boga going either direction off one of those screens.
2 shots from Holton Hunsaker. He buries the first for a 2-point lead. Holton Hunsaker with 5 points tonight.
Yeah, they could look to get McIntosh involved. He's shown the ability to shoot the 3. Let's see what the Coach Hipsher has drawn up.
Well, they need a 3 to send it to overtime. 15 seconds left. Whoa, Zach Nelson fouled him just past midcourt, and Boga got the shot away, and doggone shot almost went in.
Well, and Coach Hipsher's yelling for a foul here. You know, 14 seconds left. The Wolverines only have 4 team fouls, so they're probably going to be fouling here. Well, maybe not. Let's see what they decide to do. Yep.
Keawe reaches in, fouls Hildebrandt.
So they're going to foul. They're going to foul one more time. Chances are
they're just burning clock.
Going to burn clock. We're using team fouls here. They've got one more to give before they put Pan Am in the bonus.
11.5 seconds left.
And they may even foul to put him in the bonus. You never know here.
Pan Am needs a 3 to send it to OT. Hildebrandt triggering. Clock rolling. Boga's got the hot hand. He'll put up a long 3. Missed it. And the Wolverines of Utah Valley University have just clinched the share of the Western Athletic Conference regular season title. Utah Valley University has just clinched the #1 seed in the WAC tournament. And UVU knows they'll be postseason after the tournament as the regular season champs with the #1 seed. They are guaranteed a spot in the NIT if for some reason they don't make the NCAA. But it was not easy and it was not pretty. Champions
Question is, are they going to be sole champions or are they going to be co-champs? If they win their lone remaining game next week against Bakersfield, it's all alone, baby. They would have to lose next week and New Mexico State win tonight and their game next week to share it with UVU. 45-42. Matt Peterson happy with the W, but my goodness, interesting game.
You know, very interesting game. I've made a point several times earlier this year, and I want to just reiterate it because a lot of times in sports and in a lot of things that you do, things don't go your way, and you just have to keep battling and you just have to keep fighting. You cannot get down on yourself. As hard it is, you cannot get frustrated. I mean, the Wolverines, that was the worst offensive effort I've seen them play this season and maybe in the last couple seasons. But their defense, they held Texas Pan Am to 42 points, and it wasn't pretty, as you said, but they did what they had to, and they came out with the victory.
For UVU, their second lowest scoring total this season. They got blown out by Oklahoma State in the third game of the year where they scored only 40 points. But, as you mentioned for Texas Pan Am, it is their lowest scoring game of the season. Prior to this, it was 46 points. So, you know, the halftime score turns out to be the final score. 45-42, UVU 12-3 in the WAC. New Mexico State behind them at 11-4. Wow, who would have thunk this? UVU's first year in the WAC, and I've heard people the last 48 hours, especially on TV, going, I didn't even know there was a Utah Valley, and I certainly didn't know there was a Utah Valley in the WAC, and I certainly didn't know that Utah Valley in the WAC was leading the WAC.
Well, and you know, with the opportunity that the Wolverines have, they're making the most of it. And, you know, the school has to be very proud. Coach Hunsaker has to be very proud. All the players have to be very proud. But, you know, this is all really good for the school, but, you know, they've still got one more game here at home, and then they've got the most important couple days coming up, which is going to be the WAC tournament. So it's great to have this. It's great to be a part of it, but I think every player and every coach realizes that there's more to come in this season.
The Wolverines shoot 26% for the game and win this thing.
That's incredible.
Nobody in double figures.
26% from the game, from the field, 14% from the three.
Wow. Wolverines, co-champs at least, with the #1 seed. Hey, thanks for being with us. This one was fun. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough saying so long from Orem, Utah.